In 1984, a few visionaries, armed with little more than caring hearts, creative minds, and an iron will to meet important needs unfulfilled, started Concerns of Police Survivors. That first year, C.O.P.S had 110 members. Today, that number stands at over 15,000 families. The spouses, children, parents, siblings, in-laws, fiancés, significant others, and affected co-workers of officers killed in the line of duty. This is the story of 25 years of service, how one organization created a unique program with a special mission to help rebuild the shattered lives of these survivors. Grief is not a destination, it's a journey. For some survivors, that journey begins with the first contact from Concerns of Police Survivors through a personal visit or note not long after their officer's end of watch. For many, their first opportunity to experience the overall impact of Concerns of Police Survivors is at the same place C.O.P.S first reached out to survivors 25 years ago in Washington, D.C., during National Police Week. Here, survivors gather to honor their fallen loved ones. Here is also where they can take the first steps on the road to rebuild their shattered lives. Through Concerns of Police Survivors, they meet others who, like them, have the loss of an officer in common. Grief is shared. Friendships are made, and the opportunity to experience C.O.P.S hands-on support begins.
I had just really literally started my journey. I absorbed as much as I could, and it was an adrenaline rush because I was so excited about all the people I got to talk with and the professionals. I took in as much of the seminars as I could.
For adults, it's a chance to attend counseling and training sessions covering a large number of topics and issues. And for the kids, it's an honor motorcade trip to Quantico, Virginia, to the FBI training facility. Here, they attend age-appropriate counseling sessions.
When I came to Police Week, it was my first week and I was a little scared. And when I met new friends, I got comfortable.
The bonds that occur with these kids during Police Week are just are huge, and it's so meaningful to them to be in a peer support setting where there are other kids who are experiencing the same thing.
Of course, children need some fun as well. These young survivors take the afternoon off for some well-deserved recreation. There are games and goodies and a chance to get to know one another. C.O.P.S kids get a rare treat for those outside the academy: a tour and a chance to experience some of the FBI's training regimen firsthand. C.O.P.S hands-on programs have evolved and grown over the first 25 years. What began with counseling sessions during National Police Week expanded. Today, Concerns of Police Survivors holds retreats for spouses, siblings, adult children, fiancés, significant others, in-laws, and parents.
My wife and I came to the parent retreat in 1999, and it was a very emotional time. We weren't really sure that we wanted to be there. We saw other parents laughing, and we're thinking, how can they laugh? You know, their child is dead. You know, that doesn't make any sense at all.
Everyone coming for the first time feels exactly the same way. And believe it or not, even though you feel like you're at such a low spot, you can help me. And that's what it's about.
Each group has a program designed especially for them, and they are surrounded by others who have experienced a similar loss and are dealing with, or have already dealt with, many of the same issues.
So it's not as if you're with a bunch of strangers. You're only stranger for about 5 minutes, and then suddenly you have a connection that there are people there who truly understand what you're going through. There's no judgments made. If somebody cries, we understand. We know why you're crying. We've cried ourselves.
All these programs allow time to socialize and build friendships. There is time for counseling, both in group or individual if requested. And each retreat has an outdoor recreational element to relax the mind, challenge the body, and lift the spirit.
When you successfully complete a challenge, you are so elated and you know that you can now face tomorrow without your loved one.
I can do it! I can do it!
The counseling sessions can get very intense, and you can only maintain intensity for so long. So you need these breaks just to regroup and come back and process what you heard in the counseling session.
I feel like I want to come back and show that love to someone else, but I always come back and get something myself every year.
And the children survivors have their own place, C.O.P.S Kids Camp and Outward Bound.
I can't express what a week of coming to camp can do for these kids.
It was hard on me. I was just angry all the time. But then eventually I got friends. This camp is just totally awesome.
It makes your heart warm to see them reach out to each other and to watch kids who you see at the very beginning of camp who are really struggling, and by the end of camp it's like a totally different child. That's what it's all about.
Good job!
Whatever the age group, the healing hands of the C.O.P.S family are never far away. Fellow survivors listen and support one another year-round between major retreats and events.
I email people every week, sometimes every day, and it's an extension of your family.
I was having a bad day my first couple of years. He seen that and he come to me. Well, he was having a bad day, Labor Day, and I went to him. And so I guess you call that bonding. He helped me. I turned around and helped him when he needed it.
The people in C.O.P.S are the friends I never wanted to meet, but they are my best friends. You can pick up the phone any hour of the day, and they will be there. You know, it's just like the theme says, reach out, take my hand, I'll pull you up, and that is true.
The services provided don't end there. There are scholarships for education, support during trial and at parole hearings, and training. The regional and state C.O.P.S chapters, who work on the local level with survivors and the law enforcement community, as well as organizing fundraisers to benefit the survivors at the grassroots level.
I feel so privileged to have spent the weekend with you all and have seen.
Concerns of Police Survivors is constantly exploring new ways to serve, as well as modifying and improving the programs already in place. If there is a need, C.O.P.S will try to find a way to satisfy it. We know, unfortunately, that each year on average, another 140 to 160 law enforcement officers will lose their lives in the line of duty. Their families will join the ranks of the survivors and become part of the growing numbers of the C.O.P.S family. Through the trials and tears and healing that are all a part of grieving, Concerns of Police Survivors is proud to provide the resources to assist in rebuilding their shattered lives. C.O.P.S membership is for a lifetime. No dues are collected. The loss experienced is a price greater than anyone should have to pay. That's why Concerns of Police Survivors is supported by grants and through generous donations, large and small, from individuals, law enforcement agencies, civic organizations, businesses, and special events. This is how C.O.P.S is able to deliver its multifaceted, compassionate approach to all the families they serve. For a quarter of a century, Concerns of Police Survivors has offered love, support, and a custom roadmap for this difficult journey. Every survivor's path is their own. None are exactly in the same place, but they are not alone.